Up, let's talk about a little bit of dry weather for a while because we know that's going to be gone at the end of the weekend.
Why are you smiling when you say that?
Because I love rain. Don't we all love rain? Most of us do that enjoy a good Seattle rain once in a while. And fall's knocking on the door, so we want football weather. That's why. 65 degrees right now in Seattle. Clouds are rolling in. It's winds out of the west-southwest, 7 miles an hour. A good strong onshore push is underway, and the clouds are coming on in. We hit 77 today at SeaTac. The average is 73, so above the average. And it looks like tonight is going to be one of those cool nights. We've already got temperatures in the upper 50s, 58 degrees for Bremerton and 56 for Port Angeles. It is definitely feeling cooler outside than what we've had the last several nights. You can see the clouds on the satellite that have been pushing in. Cloudy on the coast, through the strait, and those clouds coming up over Olympia and Tacoma, even reaching up into Seattle. So it's a cloudy start tomorrow and will stay mostly cloudy as low pressure spinning offshore. That's going to shove high pressure out of the way tomorrow evening, and we're going to see the risk of some thunderstorms popping up in the Cascades first. Then we're going to have some heavier showers start to move over parts of inland western Washington. So Saturday's dry, thanks to high pressure. But Sunday is the rain showers moving on in, and that will impact the Seahawks forecast too. Temperatures in the mid to upper 50s when you wake up tomorrow morning. Will be right around 60 for Seattle to get going around the city, but definitely cooler in outlying spots. In the mountains, plan for some showers that could be locally heavy at times and some thunderstorms. Anytime after the noon hour, we'll have that risk of thunderstorms popping up. Our snow levels up around 11,000 feet. So yeah, we anticipate most of this to be rain in the mountains, and it'll start to develop as we get closer to 2 p.m., noon and 2 for the Cascades. In the inland areas, it's going to be closer to 5 to 8 p.m. that some of those showers move through. Notice not a lot of rainfall out on the coast. A lot of this is going to be some showers that are from a disturbance that's impacting the central portion of western Washington. And so impressive amounts. This particular model from University of Washington is showing us that there could be some showers that bring in up to half an inch of rain just tomorrow night into early Sunday morning. So we'll expect mostly cloudy skies to start the day in the mid-60s to the north, low to mid-70s in the central sound. Again, staying on the cloudy side, not a lot of sun, and the clouds will also indicate when that rain's going to start kicking in. We'll see it around the foothills first. Puyallup going to be 74 tomorrow for a high, mid to 60s along the coast, staying cloudy. Just a chance of a shower for you. It's more likely the rest of us inland are going to get those showers. And looking at the 7-day, Sunday, definitely rain showers, a high of only 70, upper 60s on Monday and Tuesday. Both days will have scattered rain showers at times. We're going to get a few sun breaks in there on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Partly sunny, low to mid 70s. Oh, a little taste of summer before we really are feeling that fall forecast.